Hey, this is Corbin with Pyxis Strength and Conditioning. I just wanted to talk to you guys real quickly about the mental aspects of training and what I believe are the three most important factors as far as being successful in the gym. Now, it seems to me that in a lot of cases, everybody's looking for a shortcut, an easy way to get to the end destination, which is fitness, getting as big as possible, getting as strong as possible, or getting as lean as possible. And I just wanted to let you guys know there are no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts, but the harder that you press on the gas pedal, the faster you're going to get to where you're going. So the faster that you're driving, the more, or the less time it takes to get there. So basically what that boils down to is effort. So the amount of effort that you're putting into your training is what's going to be the determining factor as to how fast you get there. So that's the first of the three concepts that I want to talk about today, effort. The second one is intelligent programming, which we'll get to in a second. And then strength training is my third pillar for fitness success. And I do have an article about this on my website. I'll plug the website in a second. So as far as effort is concerned, what we're looking for, we want to be milking every rep, every set, every exercise, every workout, and every program that we do. Now there's several factors that go into that. As far as when we're milking each rep, we're looking at intent. So we want to be focused on what we're trying to achieve with each rep. So if we're looking to build muscle, we're trying to contract muscles as hard as we possibly can and squeeze them and get maximal contractile force out of them. If we're looking at strength, we're trying to move weights as fast as possible. From your first warm-up set to your heaviest top set, basically you should be trying to move the weight as fast as possible. Because force is basically mass times acceleration. So if we accelerate it faster, we produce more force. When we're looking at milking every set, you're taking it where it needs to go. So it's not so much that we're trying to go to complete failure on every set or destroy ourselves every set. We're trying to get what we need to out of each and every set. So for a strength athlete, if you're supposed to do a triple, try and make it as fast as possible. If you're doing a set of 5, make it as fast as possible. If you're a bodybuilder, take it just shy of failure. So don't waste the set and make it so like you're doing 15 reps with your 50 rep max. That's a wasted set unless it's a warm-up. If you're in a work set, you should be looking for generally doing 1 to 2 reps shy of failure until your last set or a challenge set, at which point then you would take it to all-out failure or beyond. For fat loss, you're going to be close to failure as well, trying to get the heart rate up via strength training in most cases. We'll talk about that more later. And then we're looking at milking every exercise. Know how to optimally perform it for what you're trying to do. Bench press can look different for somebody that's trying to build their pecs versus someone that's trying to be the best power lifter they can be, depending on the level of gear that you're wearing, stuff like that. Squat's going to look different for an Olympic lifter versus a power lifter. So when you're trying to milk the exercise, you got to be doing it properly for the goal that you have. And then when we talk about milking the workout, make sure that you push where you need to push, stay back where you need to stay back, and make everything optimal in the sense of what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish. And then finally the program. So when we're trying to optimize the program, you're basically looking at picking intelligent weights, not trying to like do something that's way too heavy. That also applies to the exercises and workouts and sets. But basically pick intelligent weights throughout the course of the program, and intelligent exercise selection, so making sure that you're doing exercises in the right order and with the right frequency to make sure that you're going to optimize your gains, and then follow through. So milking each program boils down to following through. So if we're suffering from shiny red ball syndrome and we're bouncing between programs like, oh, I don't think this is working, I don't think this is working. In most cases, when you're looking at a program, you're going to decrease the amount of strength or size, sometimes size, but oftentimes your strength will decrease as you go into the heart of the program, the first several weeks, because a lot of times it's hypertrophy oriented if you're looking for powerlifting. And so maybe your strength goes down and you feel, oh, I'm not getting stronger, this program isn't helping me, but in reality, you're building a base for a stronger you as the program peaks out. Or in some cases, when you're doing a hypertrophy program, some of mine are very, very in-depth and difficult, and by weeks 7 and 8, you're going to start to feel like you're looking smaller because you're reaching into overreaching phase. So basically, you're starting to get to where you might start to overtrain if you're not recovering properly, so your body's stressed at that point, and then when you go into the taper, that's when you're going to see the biggest amount of gains. So basically, I've done programs where I felt like garbage after about 4 weeks, finished it out 3 weeks later, and then go into my peak, and I gained 20 pounds. That was an extreme case, and I changed my diet too, so don't expect that all the time. But I was very well primed for it, and the overreaching phase pushed me to it. Alright, and then, so now let's talk about intelligent programming. So every program works when effort is applied. So basically what we just talked about, if you're applying effort and doing your best with each program, milking it for what it's worth, every program can work to some extent. Now, there are programs that are more optimal and work better because they're designed more intelligently. What that boils down to is your goals. So whatever your goals are is what's going to determine what's going to make a program optimal or suboptimal. So if you're a power lifter and you're going to run a bodybuilding program that focuses on high reps, you're probably not going to get super far. You can push it really, really hard, put in great effort, and you might get a little bit stronger. But is it going to leave a lot of strength gains on the table? Yes. So basically when we look at intelligent programming, you're picking your exercises based on your goals, you're picking the exercise order based on your goals, and you're picking the exercise frequency based on your training age and your goals. And then programming volume, so your volume should be increasing over time until you taper. When you taper, your volume decreases significantly while the intensity stays up, and then you start over and a little bit higher than where you started before. I will go more into programming later. Right now I just want to talk about the 3 pillars, which is effort, intelligent programming, and strength training. So moving on to strength training. This is I believe this is probably the second most important thing. Effort is always going to be the most important. I believe that strength training is probably the single factor that's going to make the biggest difference in most people's physiques though. So getting stronger is foundational in your success. So if you put more weight on the bar and you can do high reps with it, so if you do if you hit a new 10 rep max, maybe you'd done 135 for 10 and now all of a sudden you can do 185 for 10, you're going to see a significant improvement in hypertrophy as you've increased the necessary strength to do that. More weight on lower reps, you're looking at neural adaptations. So maybe if you take your 3 rep max from 300 to 335, then you've seen neural adaptations. You might not see a lot of muscular gains right off the bat, but you're building a base that allows for bigger muscular gains later, and you have increased your strength. Now when we build muscle, so when we get more weight on higher reps, basically that's going to leave you with a higher metabolism and a higher strength potential, because basically strength is the byproduct of cross-sectional area as far as the muscle is concerned. So the more muscle that you have, and then the higher neural capacity you have to activate it, the stronger you're going to wind up being. So more muscle equals a faster metabolism and a higher strength potential. And then more strength equals a base for better hypertrophy sessions, greater volume, which give better hormonal response, and will expend more energy, which leads to greater fat loss. So basically, if you're looking to lose body fat, strength training is still going to be optimal, because basically the stronger that you get, the more energy you have to expend per set. So the more energy you expend per set, the faster your fat loss. Plus there's also the hormonal aspect to it as well, which we'll get on in a different video. So basically those are the 3 pillars. So we want to look at effort, milking each rep, set, exercise, workout, and program. Intelligent programming, choosing your exercises based on your goal, and then executing them properly. And then strength training, so making sure that getting stronger is foundational to your success. So focus on building all-around strength with intelligently designed programming, executed with proper effort, and your time in the gym will yield a significantly higher reward. That's it from Pyxis Strength and Conditioning. Go ahead and like us on Facebook. That's Facebook.com/Pyxis Strength. I do have a Twitter account, which is @Pyxis Strength. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, pyxisstrength@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.